Hello and welcome. My name is Sidharth Shah. Welcome back to one more success story of our academy. Yes, my friends, I'm so happy to have my dear friend Dhiren Shah from Pune. He is an amazing human being, and I met him, Dhiren, in December, and he has right now entered our Carnegie Success Club. And let me introduce Dhiren for you, and let me ask him to share his success story. So Dhiren Shah is the CEO of AIM Airwovens. Sorry,
Non-wovens.
AIM Non-Wovens. Yeah. Great. Dhiren, why don't you introduce yourself, please? Yeah.
I am 43 years old. I live in Pune. I am a student of MIT and then Indian School of Business in Hyderabad. And now I head the company called AIM Non-Wovens. So we basically are into manufacturing of textiles that are used in mask. So a lot of days, most of the people are wearing mask, and I think 90% of the masks are supplied by us in the Indian mask industry. So any of you wearing mask, that's me inside.
Amazing. I think that's a really nice way of introducing. And I never knew about your MIT and ISB qualification. That's a super duper qualification. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
So Dhiren, just give a brief background about yourself when you had come to my program in December, in terms of what are the two important aspects of your life where you had a challenge, and just a brief background about yourself. Yeah.
So when I saw your post on Facebook, so we had this session about Think and Grow Rich, and when I saw the session, I had two big challenges in my life. One is health, the other is wealth. So on both the fronts, I was facing a massive challenge, and I was struggling through it. I was trying to fight with it, but nothing was working out. I mean, I was detected with cancer in September of 2019. And since then, my journey had started about fight against the disease and to resurrect my body. The doctors kept saying, "Ki baba, ye difficult hai," and there was very, very difficult treatments that were put up on me. At the same time, my entire family was dependent on me, and I also had challenges in my business. So where we had a certain level of debt, and we were struggling to meet our ends in the company as well. And the sales were plummeting. Obviously because I was not at work. I was always at treatment. Of course, my partners and team were doing the best that they could, but there is always this element of being there in work and trying to fight through. But with such a massive health challenge, was very difficult to focus on work. And then when I saw your post, it said Think and Grow Rich, and I was thinking, "Ke fir main kaam pe kyun ja raha hu, and can I not be in the hospital and just think, and can I not get to meet the ends at least?"
Right.
So when I met you, my goal was that one of the nine things that you spoke about,
Yes.
you said the motivation, the motivation or the burning desire comes from the ability to the need to survive.
Sure.
And that is where I was, that the need to survive was my biggest issue.
Right.
And I think in the session that I had with you, the need to survive was one thing that I really recognized, that yes, that if that's the principle, then I have to use that, because that is where I am coming from.
Right.
Need to survive and need to move forward. So I started moving forward, and I started thinking about how do I go about it. I met you in that session. So I started moving forward, and I started
Sure.
Going the extra mile.
So what exactly was your turnover goal at that time when you spoke about? I never knew about your.
Because I'm not able to hear you.
You can't hear me? You can't hear me?
It's better now.
Better now? Better?
Yeah. Better,
okay, great.
better.
So, yeah, no problem. So I was asking that I never knew about your health issues when you came in Pune in my program. And you spoke about the turnover goal. And I said, Dhiren, what are you talking? Why this much? You know, make it 3x times, okay? And you said, Sidharth, what logic you're talking? And what was your reaction? What did you do after that?
So when you asked me to write down the goal list, I had written a goal which was seemingly not fathomable at that point of time.
Right.
And I wrote a goal which was already 3x.
Okay.
And when I came to you and showed you the goal, and you said, अच्छा ये हो जाएगा 3x क्यों 5x क्यों नहीं लिखते हो? And I was like, यार, what is he saying? Is that possible? There is no logic based on what logic should I go about? And I think that time you use the perfect word, that forget the how of it, focus on the goal. And that's where I recognize that yes, if the universe has to answer whatever it has to offer, then let's leave it to that. Let it do the work, and let me focus on the goal. There was also the health goal that I had written down. So during the course, you had told me that don't focus on the nitty-gritties, but write down headstand so I had taken up headstand as a goal during the same moment. So one was a health goal and one was this goal.
Correct.
After that, I did my. You sent me the first question session.
Yes.
So we had to fill down our 4 personal goals.
Yes.
And after discussing with you, we decided to narrow down to just 2.
Yes.
Because there was one was health, the other was wealth, third was giving, and the fourth was adventure.
Perfect.
And when you counseled me, you told me that forget the 2. These 2 seem to be a lot more bigger in challenges for you. So focus on these 2. And then I struck down the other 2 goals, and I said, okay, these 2 things, that's it. That's what I want to do. And this discussion happened in January end, around January 15th or around January.
Correct.
And I was not there. I mean, I was still thinking, ye kaise hoga, pata nahi kab hoga.
True.
And I had a lot of this logical mindset doubts. But I started focusing on doing what you told me to focus on it every evening. I prepared a goal chart as well, but I was not very religious about it.
Right.
In the morning I started. In the evening I started. Whenever I was praying, I was thinking about what you told me and asking God for it. Of course, because that's the Indian style of doing things.
Sure.
And in the night, before I went to sleep, because you told me that that's a very powerful time.
Yes.
So before I go to sleep, I have it on my bed front. It's there put out. And once I complete my prayers, I visualize. I used to visualize what will happen if I achieve these goals.
Okay. Very nice.
Clearly, go to that extent that okay, मैं अभी ये goal achieve कर दिया, अभी क्या होगा? What will happen if I have achieved my sales goal? What will happen if I achieve my health goal? And then I used to visualize doing a handstand, doing push-ups, because from where I was when I met you, nothing of that was possible. I mean, survival was the biggest challenge at that point of time. And then February came, things went into a lockdown, COVID started, and I was still wondering, pata nahi kya hoga. And then suddenly there was this tsunami of work that we got during lockdowns. So while everywhere there was, in the industry especially, there was this big challenge that people were facing. They didn't know what to do. We were here working 24/7.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I learned was that when you narrowed down on the goal, I recognized that ye goal ko achieve karne ke liye, whatever I need to do, I will do. Otherwise, everything else I will just cut off.
Very true.
And I did cut off a lot of things. And lockdown helped more.
It helped. Yeah.
You don't go out anywhere.
Yeah. So you automatically get focused. Right. Very nice.
The focus was there. One goal. 8 hours a day, one goal. It made a lot of lives happy over here, because whoever came to the plant were very clear. They were told in the company that this is one goal that company has. If you can be a part of that, come over, take double the salaries. If it doesn't happen,
right,
it's okay. But if you are not supporting that goal, you'll be fired. These were the 3 clear instructions that I had given out. And most of my people ended up making double the money. Because they were so much a part of the goal, because the whole team started believing in that. I mean, I have it everywhere now.
Yeah. So what did you do? You put that goal everywhere. You discuss it with all your team members, with all your staff. And so what exactly did you do? This is one goal. It's a 3x goal or a 5x goal. What was it? And what was the result?
I put up a 3x goal. Okay. Maybe I can show it to you now.
Yes, please. Go ahead. Go ahead.
See, the goal is here,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it's all over in the company.
It's everywhere. Okay.
It's everywhere in the company. Everyone sees it. My banker sees it. My customers see it.
Okay.
Everyone in the company, मतलब परत आना. Everyone in the company sees the goal.
Very nice.
So, and I didn't convince anyone to be a part of the goal, frankly.
Okay.
Frankly, I'm in a sweet spot because I'm the managing director. So sometimes I just put it down.
I got that.
And but the reason was why I didn't tell anyone is because if my belief is strong enough, it will happen. Was my thing.
Right.
That in the end, if the higher force has to help you, then let it help. And when I put up this sheet out, I was not sure if these guys will believe in it.
Right.
And there would be a natural resistance. कैसे होगा? Again, the logic mind.
Right.
तो मैंने तो लगा दिया and छोड़ दिया. And now everyone comes back and says, sir, ये month का goal achieve कैसे करेंगे? वो देखते हैं, हम कर लेंगे. So start of the month, they have an order book which is at least double of what this goal is.
Okay.
So they are all very happy. So the goal, we are.
And you have crossed this goal.
We have crossed this goal. We have crossed 5x as well.
You crossed 5x. Okay.
And we are at actually 8x. So
8x. Dhiren,
so
let me just hold on over here. Did you know how you're going to do this when you came to my program?
No.
You didn't know, right?
In any remoteness at that point of time, my logical mind, even what I'm doing now, fails to grasp that why am I achieving this goal, which was not achieved for the past 15 years. Okay. So I'm doing the same thing for past 15 years now. So my mind was trained not to believe in what I was talking because यहाँ पे होता नहीं है, right?
And I can see myself in you, from MIT, so I'm not an engineering background, but CA, MBA, left brain, logical person, so ISB, I can completely relate that the logic, the how part is definitely stopping in the belief system. So there's nothing wrong from your end, but that's the way we are programmed that way. So
so that how part was missing, and now I mean, mano to Bhagwan, nahi mano to patthar, that's the situation, right? So somebody will put up a logic and say, ki, Acha, you did this, so this happened. But I did the same thing for past many years. What changed was the belief that I got to start believing in my goal.
Correct.
And then things will fall into place. And touchwood, abhi mujhko lagta nahi ki something is stopping me. Of course, what I fear is visualizing the wrong goal.
So it's a double-edged sword. We need to be very careful about our thought processes. But we'll ensure that you are in the academy, you won't go into that.
Right,
we'll ensure that. All right, don't worry on that. So tell me something more about your health goal. I mean, you had some terminal illness. Just a brief, and you had some. You are now completely out of it. So thank God for that. And that was the biggest challenge when you were called, because when you called me after a couple of months, you told me, Sidharth, my business goal is already achieved. That's a success story. But I want to now focus on my health goal. We did something on that, and you made some changes on the vision board where you had a clean scheme. Can you just share something which you did very innovatively?
Right. So, so I was diagnosed with cancer in September 2020, and then
2019, right?
2019. I'm sorry, 2019. Yeah. And then when I met you, my goal was that I don't want this disease because that is the biggest stopper to everything that I can think of. I was a stage 3 cancer patient, going to stage 4, which is very difficult. And in this disease, everyone has one word for you. How much is the time left, right? And that is where I was. So visualizing myself into the wrong situations and always getting into tough things. But one of the things that when I met you, I learned is that I need to recondition my brain to start thinking not about the disease, but to start thinking about what happens when I am free of the disease. And that was very, very tough part because at that point of time, to visualize what happens when I'm very healthy was one of the most difficult part that I could imagine. It was a mental block, frankly. कि ये तो possible नहीं है. This is very difficult. And then I overcame that with a lot of I used to every day sit and have tears in my eyes, but still I used to think, अच्छा ये होगा तो ये होगा, मैं भागूंगा, मैं push-ups करूंगा, मैं gym जाऊंगा, मैं yoga करूंगा, whatever was possible I was trying to imagine. And then came the point where I had finished my treatment and I had to go for scans.
Yeah.
And these scans are always difficult portion for a patient. It's like a result of whatever you've done.
Yes.
And the doctors can come back to you and tell you it's not good.
Yeah.
And then you go on to the next course of treatment again. And here I was where the scan came. I was preparing for the scan date. So I used the goal sheet at that point of time. And during the scan, one of the things is to have a clear PET scan. So I put up an image of the clear PET scan on my goal chart.
Okay.
And I said, I'm going to look at it and visualize a clear scan. And I put it up on my office board, on my bed, on my desk in my home. Everywhere I put up that to see. Wherever I was sitting, I was seeing that.
Wow.
And I went into the scan and I came back and doctor said, it's not good news. You still have something left inside. And I was thinking, my God, ये तो मैंने सही किया था. मैंने तो I had put up the goal sheet right. I did everything that Sidharth told me, but पता नहीं why this happened. Then I realized that I was visualizing a scan again.
Okay.
Which is where I thought, oh my God, I visualized a scan again after this scan.
Oh.
Which is why the treatment got elongated. And rather than that, I should have put up a much, because you said pink of health.
Pink of health. Yeah, that's my pink of health. That's what we use the word. Yes.
That's the word that you told me to use. And then I said, Acha, now let me visualize putting up a handstand picture on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it was impossible for me to do handstands at that point of time. And now I'm doing handstands. So
clinically, it's not possible for you to do handstand, right? I mean, clinically, it's not possible for you to do handstand, right?
Yeah, clinically, it's impossible for me to do any handstands because my esophagus has been removed as a part of the treatment. And esophagus is the pipe that controls the food and pushes it into the stomach and does not allow it to come up.
Right.
So since the esophagus is not there and my stomach is in my neck, so you can imagine that the food can create a reflux in the system. So anything to bend with was ruled out for me.
Correct.
But now I'm doing 50 handstands a day. I can do 2-minute handstands. I can do the scorpion poses. So all of the difficult poses I'm doing these days. Of course, I have a trainer.
Of course, yeah.
Nobody can learn all this. And he does a good job. But this is one of the things that I had visualized that I want to do and I want to be good at as a part of the one-day meeting that we had in person and then the subsequent coaching that I had with you briefly. So thank you so much. I'm very excited to be a part of this. Now so my challenge is how to set the next goal.
I'm there with you. Don't worry on that, Dhiren. And you are one committed person who believes in these principles. And I'm so happy that you believed in that conversation which I had with you. Otherwise, being an MIT and ISB grad, forget about it. I'm not going to do that stuff. I'm going to focus on my logic. But you believed in me. So tell me something for people who say, okay, I will read the book Think and Grow Rich, or I will listen to the audio Think and Grow Rich. Why would they come into our program? What is the additional, why should they consider coming into the academy? Is it something you can just read the book or just listen to the audio, or something which is much beyond that?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. So see, for me, it's very clear that the personal approach that you gave me just gave me a lot of belief. I mean, there are so many books out there that I have read. But जो बात करने से जो confidence आया, and when you told me forget the how of it, when I met you, you told I told you यार मैंने तो MBA भी कर लिया, अभी कैसे करेंगे आगे, फिर भी problem तो वही है वापस.
Yeah.
And I mean ISB is a good school, right?
Of course.
It's one of the premier
Ivy
schools.
League, yeah.
and you told me at that point कि यार वो सब तो ठीक है, but belief जो काम करता है वो और कोई काम नहीं करता है.
There's no MBA school
And
teaches you.
this really works.
Yeah.
And so that one-to-one meeting with you,
Yeah.
really, really. Hello?
Yeah. I'm able to hear you.
So that one-to-one meeting with you really, really helped me, and that was wonderful
Great.
time. And I think the other thing is that translating the knowledge that is there in the book.
Yeah.
In ISB, what I've learned is there is this thing about what can be coded and what cannot be coded. So the uncoded methods, you know, the experience,
so we decode that thing for you. We decode,
yeah.
we decode that thing for you. Yeah. So we
So
decode Think and Grow Rich for you.
Right. So that I think that's what that's why I think everyone should do the course.
Perfect.
That reading is one, but practicing it is a totally different issue. I mean, I have seen a lot of videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
For yoga.
Yeah.
Right. And in the morning, I get a yoga trainer, and what he teaches me, the way he gets me through to the through the asanas, through the various postures is unbeatable. Because looking at a YouTube video, I would never have learned those poses that I'm doing now.
True.
So if you want to be good at something, I think you need a trainer, and who better to have than to you. So that's my call.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your kind words. So just to wrap it up, Dhiren, that few things which you have done, and final words for the community, that people who are skeptical, that think and grow rich, socho or Amir bano, how is it possible? Final words to wrap it up, and your final message, and about your experience of being with us.
So I think one is the belief. So if faith can move mountains, you need to have the belief that will develop the faith. So that's one of the things that you said, right, in the first session that we had with you. So I think that certainly works. That you may have all the knowledge, you may have all the skills, but belief ka kya karoge? And how do you work on that as a system? How do you develop that? So for that, they must join the course. There is, yesterday I was in the session with you, and it is unbelievable that people still have any resistance. After I was thinking that they should have just sign up right away. Yeah. And there were these guys who were in the same shoes as I was, and I was like, "Kar le yaar." So
so what I request you, that you are in this weekly mastermind call. We'll give you an opportunity, because this will be your first weekly mastermind call this Friday. Right. We'll give you an opportunity where you can speak up your experience, about your success. That will be really inspiring for all the community members. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the hard work that you've done on us. So
so that's what I meant for.
People here. It's helping a lot of people here, and hopefully someday you can visit us and see what we've done.
Yeah, very soon. Very soon.
And I look forward to more interactions with you.
Very soon. Yeah. So that's Dhiren Shah for you. One of our key success stories. He has entered the Carnegie Success Club. Thank you so much, Dhiren, for your time. And I wish you grand success in terms of your health, in terms of your wealth. I want one more zero added now in your turnover goal. Okay. And very soon we'll do that for sure. So we're going to do that for you. And that's the power of Think and Grow Rich, which is beyond reading the book or beyond just listening to the audio, where we actually coach you in the sense that we don't focus on how it is going to happen, but we work on your belief system so that you can use your potential and achieve your goals which you want to achieve. If you want to create your own success story, be it health, be it wealth, then please click on the link below and come into for our programs and see how magic can start to happen in our life. These are tried and tested principles. My name is Sidharth Shah. I am the CEO of Think and Grow Rich Academy. Thank you so much for watching this particular video of our success story. Thank you. Thank you so much.